Okay, well, it looks like they got the trim up nicely, and they even put a nice little threshold down here. I kind of like that. That trims off the outside edge, because if you didn't have that, you'd have to step up over that lip and you could trip. Now, lots of people don't do that, but because this is on the second floor, it was very easy for them to screw it down. And this thing slides so nice. That's the one thing I like about Andersen doors. Okay, there. Once you get it, then it sucks it in as you pull that down. When you open it, it already kind of starts to go open. I like that. And the screen, oh, it slides so nice too. And you just lock it right here like that. That's all. That's all you got to do. Yeah. No, it's okay. And here, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Look at this. Here's the trim here. Unfortunately, they weren't able to install the trim today. Now, why was that? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Okay, sometimes you have to get a permit. They did get a permit on this project. And here's the permit card over there and everything. And when you call for permits, you've got to call the inspector. Now, on this one, it was scheduled for a week ago. And the owner actually talked to the inspector over the phone and said, oh, okay, we need you to come back next Thursday. Okay, yeah, no problem. And so everything is done. The installers were waiting for the inspector. And I thought, what's the deal? How come he hasn't gotten here yet? They called over there, and the inspection office, oh, no, there's no inspection today. It was canceled. We see it was canceled last Thursday, but there was no schedule remade up for today. And the reason why was because the owner did not realize that she had to actually call it in. You just can't talk to the inspector, okay, verbally. You have to call it in. Because she did not call it in, she didn't know, they could not cover this trim, because the inspector, one of the things they want to do is make sure that it's been sealed properly and everything. And it is, and it's all ready. The inspector should not have an issue with it, but because it wasn't called in, he didn't come today. He can't come tomorrow because on Fridays they're closed. And so the soonest the inspection can be is next Monday. So that now the guys have to come back after the inspector. So the inspection has to come, the inspector has to come, then he signs off, then they come back, put the trim on, then the inspector may have to come back after that to make sure that the trim has been installed and all that. Okay, so very important. What you want to do is, in your area, contact your local building department to see if you even need a permit. Some counties, maybe you don't need a permit. Others, maybe you do. Okay, even if you're installing it yourself, if your county says you have to have a permit and you think, oh, I'm doing it myself, I don't have to worry about it. Well, yes, you could install it yourself without a permit, but you could get in trouble later on. Because see these tags here? Here's the tags on the windows. You want to keep those, and those have to stay there until the building inspector signs off. Now, if you don't get a permit, let's say, and on down the road you need to do something in your house and it takes a permit, and they find out that you installed some doors without a permit, they're not going to issue you a permit. Or if they see that you did get a permit but you didn't call inspections, you're going to have the same issue there. They're going to see that it wasn't signed off, and you're not going to be able to get a permit for your next project. Okay. Plus, if you sell your house, maybe the buyer's going to ask, hey, did you do anything new? Hey, we see that you installed a nice new Andersen window system. We love it. Your sliding glass door system, we love that. By the way, where's the permit for that? Where's the signed off permit? And if you don't have it, guess what? They're not going to buy your house, are they? You're going to have to then contact building department after the fact, get a permit, and then pull trim off so that they can see that it's been installed properly, sealed properly with the paper and everything. They may make you take it off even further than this. So, you know, check with your local building department before you think about redoing your sliding glass door systems. That goes for windows too. That goes for pretty much anything. You got a question, talk to your local building department. They'll tell you all about what you need. Well, the inspector just came, he signed it off saying that the door installer could come back and put this trim on. Then he wants to come back, can you believe it? He wants to come back after that before he signs off the final. Now here's one thing that he said. You know, anytime for this particular county, you've got to check out your own county, okay? But he said if the permit is over $1,000 amount, then you have to upgrade certain things. He saw, for instance, there's only one smoke alarm in this entire house, and here it is. And I'm not sure 25 years ago why they did not require it to be in each bedroom, in the bedrooms or something. But I thought maybe it was because of this, because that was like one of the first years they required fire sprinklers. And there's a fire sprinkler in each bedroom. You see there? You look in each one of these bedrooms and there's a fire sprinkler. And that's just what they did in this house. And nowadays in Marin County, I think they require everybody to have a fire sprinkler in every single room, see, and even in the bathrooms. And maybe that's why they only required one smoke alarm at the time. Boy, there we go. And you know, because the valuation of the permit was over $1,000, I think it was $5,000 or something like that. Now the inspector, he noticed when he walked in here that the smoke alarms weren't in the rest of the house, and now he can make the owner do it. Can you believe that? So before he comes out to final off this door, he wants a smoke alarm in each bedroom. So just beyond the door of each bedroom, I'm going to put a smoke alarm right up in here, and it has to have a 10-year lithium battery backup in it. And see, the only one that's hardwired to this system, I took this one down, the cover off, because there was no battery on there, and I thought, where the heck is the battery? Most smoke alarms have a battery for backup in case the electricity goes out into your house. Let's say if that was hardwired to the system, and this one is in fact hardwired to the system. And this is the only one in the house. So when I go back to replace it, he said one up in the hallway, up here on the second floor, has to have carbon monoxide and smoke alarm. And because this one's hardwired, it has to be hardwired, and it's got to have the 10-year lithium backup battery. All that for that one. And in all the other bedrooms, there's 4 bedrooms up here, so each bedroom has to have a smoke alarm. Those do not have to be hardwired to the system because they're not hardwired to the system right now. So I can get a lithium backup battery smoke alarm that is a 10-year, so you don't have to replace with 9-volt batteries every year, let's say, okay? And downstairs, he said, you have to have one outside of the kitchen, not in the kitchen, but outside the kitchen. You can have it in this front area anywhere, but because the ceiling is up high, and this ceiling going into the kitchen is low, okay, that's where I'm going to put one. And that can be just a battery backup one. It does not have to be hardwired to the system. Okay, so that one, and it has to have a carbon monoxide and smoke alarm. So I've got to go to the store and get one of those. So all that has to be done before the inspector comes back and finals off this bedroom door. So remember that you might have something like that come up on your on your report for your inspection, okay? Just get your permit signed off. There's a tip for you.
She's not grown up at all, and I don't.
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hey, one more thing about the permits. You know, just think if you would have installed this sliding glass door system without a permit, and let's say your county requires you to have installed this with a permit, you decided against it, and you installed it yourself, and let's say a year down the road something happened and your house burned down, okay? Not because of the door, but because of something else. Your insurance company's going to come out here, and if they find out that you put this in without a permit, let's say, they might say, hey, if you did have a permit, and had you have gotten a permit, the building department would have found out it was more than $1,000, the building department would have found out then that the rest of the house did not have any smoke alarms. It only had one smoke alarm in the hallway. Then, because there was a death in the family because of smoke inhalation or something, and there was a fire or something, the fire sprinklers ultimately put the fire out, but somebody passed away in one of the bedrooms or something, your insurance might not cover any of the damages or anything, because they found out that you installed this sliding glass door without a permit. Thus, the inspector would not have found out that you didn't have any smoke alarms, and now you're liable. Because see what's going to happen? The inspector already came here. He looked at that. Now he's requiring that there's smoke alarms be installed in all of the bedrooms. This one changed out to carbon monoxide and smoke alarm, and another one put down towards the kitchen, not inside the kitchen, but outside the kitchen. And all of that, had they not gotten the permit, they would not have known that. The homeowner, yeah, it's going to cost the homeowner a little bit of money to do that, but overall, they are now going to be protected for today's current codes for this county. Okay, think about that next time you want to install something without a permit. Well, I've outstayed my stay. I was only supposed to be here for like 3 days. As it is, I've been here a week. The homeowner keeps finding other things for me, and I've been kind enough to stay here and do them for them. Don't worry, mother, I'm on my way home. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.